You picked a real peach of a world to crash on, boss.
I'm picking up a large cluster of hostiles approaching.
Son of a dick! Pull up your skirt and strap that dildo on.
Jeff, I'm kind of mad at you, man.
Why?
Because you told me to go play Killzone 3, and I'm playing that. Meanwhile, you and Jason are playing the game that was described to me as you're an angry, pissed off son of a bitch who puts a gun up a mutant's ass and blows him away. And Nick and I were saying, now that's the kind of game that we want. Sticking guns up people's asses and then blowing them away. That's what we're all about. But meanwhile, you playing that game. That's not right.
Well, what the dick did you expect, dick?
Yeah, exactly. Shut up, puke nuts. Bulletstorm is ostensibly made for the lowest common denominator.
Okay, I thought you guys were really talking to me for a moment. I was like, what the fuck happened to them? Yeah, just when you thought they could get no nerdier.
That's how dialogue in the game works. With people calling each other puke dick and sushi dick.
Okay, I was about to say, right when I thought these guys could get no whiter, they did it. Hey, puke nuts. And they regressed too. They turned 13 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, vomit face.
This game is made for ADD 12-year-old racist lunatics.
So anybody you play multiplayer with is made
Pretty
for this
much.
game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were just trying to top all of the racist psychopaths on Xbox Live by saying, oh, yeah, you guys think you know how to use ridiculous profanity? Well, listen to this.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. You ain't played Bulletstorm yet.
Right. People actually got paid for writing this dialogue.
So how is this game racist? Now, you got me on this one.
Jason.
I like the way everybody's scared to answer. Like, okay, both you guys are like, okay, look, it wasn't me that said this, all right? This is Bulletstorm. I'm just repeating what I heard.
No, there's one of the main characters in the game, your best friend, quote unquote, is Ishi, this Japanese cyborg, and the bad guy of the game goes around calling him sushi dick the whole time, or slant eyes.
Well, he's the villain, right? Well, he's the villain.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm sure he gets his in the end. I'm sure his racist. Okay, well, fuck it. All right. Well, as long as they're not talking about black people, I'm okay with it. You know.
Okay.
Hey,
Jason, were there any black people in Bulletstorm?
No.
They killed them all.
They were all in Puerto Rico. Where, as we determined in the Killzone review, they were all shipped off to. This is also the future. So
no black people here in space, all in Puerto Rico.
Nope.
Black Rico.
A bunch of racist, loudmouth, redneck white people, and one half Japanese, half robot.
You speaking my language, man. Tell me more. No, so Bulletstorm is what I hear. Just, look, it's okay that this game is juvenile like this. It's okay that there's no great dialogue or great story because it's a lot of fun just to go around and blow shit up.
Yeah, the game really kind of perplexed me. I mean, at first I didn't really care for it because it started off, I wasn't sure if they were serious. I was like, are you guys joking? Really? And I'm still not entirely sure if they were parodying video games or just saying, the hell with it, let's go as over the top as possible. Like Serious Sam or Duke Nukem,
It was kind of like Cliff Bleszinski looked at Gears of War and was like, that's not manly enough for me. I need more over-the-top sideburns and power armor.
Yeah, exactly. It was just absurd. But as you play it, you really start to get attached to the characters and the epic set pieces and the narrow escapes and everything. But it starts off where you really have to give it some time because the very beginning is this scarcely interactive movie where every now and then you press a button. And then finally you actually get to play, and when you do, it's all, oh yeah, I'm a badass. Let's kill some mutants. Oh, fuck, I'm going to throw the fuck bomb in there just every now and then. And they cuss so much where it's like, wait, seriously? Who talks like that?
Some of it doesn't even make any sense, and the game even points that out at one point when the girl Trishka says, "I'll kill your dicks," and the main character is like, "What does that even mean? I'll kill your dick."
What the fuck? There's dialogue in it that says, "I will kill your dicks."
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you know what? I love this game. This is a game that actually makes me feel smart. You know, my dumb ass right here. I'm looking at this and like, hey, at least I ain't that fuck. I don't write shit like that. But you know,
what is the game about apart from killing people's dicks? You know,
well, it's interesting because it actually
Does it need anything else, Nick?
Like if you just took all of the profanity and stuff out, like the framework is there for a serious story. You know,
Fair.
It's about a bunch of guys who basically get screwed over and are looking for revenge. But there is a story there, as light and shallow as it is.
Well, anybody want to tell us what that story is?
Yeah, it's basically you're part of this group called I think it's Dead Echo. Is that right?
Are they part of a shitty emo band too? With that name?
Yeah. And
Hello,
you have
we're
to go
Dead
like
Echo.
30 seconds to Mars.
Yeah,
you're this bunch of assassins, and you realize at one point that the guy commanding you to do all of these hit missions, all these wet works ops, has been sending you after innocent people. And so you go on this crusade for revenge.
Christmas come early, boys. We got us some mass murdering piece of shit out there waiting on us to deliver some reparation.
And you end up crash landing on this planet, and the bulk of the game is trying to escape from this planet. So again, like any other video game, it's your typical sci-fi story of a hardened badass, a hard-drinking, foul-mouthed ubermensch trying to kick some ass and get revenge. Just like pretty much every other fucking video game released in the last 15 years.
Jeff, would you agree on this?
Yeah. It's actually interesting because since I played both Killzone and Bulletstorm kind of back to back, there's actually some kind of weird parallels between the different stories. I mean, the revenge plot isn't there, but they both have that same kind of like trapped on a hell world where everything's trying to kill you, just trying to get away, except that Bulletstorm is much more ludicrous and kind of entertaining at the end of the day.
So what's the deal? Because it looks like they just came down and just blew the fuck out of Las Vegas.
Pretty much.
The planet itself, they go into that in the story, but the planet itself is kind of like a leisure world. It was like Planet Las Vegas, and at one point some bad crap happened and everybody mutated and the whole place went to shit. And so what you're left with is these casinos and nightclubs that are all kind of burned down and in disrepair, and then in between mutants screaming and running at you and blowing themselves up.
Is there a hooker with 3 titties? I mean, you said, there's a bunch of mutants up here.
You just want to be that black taxi driver who goes, baby, make me wish I had 3 heads.
Yeah, well, shit, hey, if you're going to mutate Las Vegas, mutate in the best way. I want 5 vaginas, 3 titties, and 4 ass cheeks on a chick.
I think
there is one female, and she has the proportionate amount of breasts.
Fuck.
She's biologically correct.
Well, fuck that then. But anyway, no wonder. Blow that shit up, man. It's a boring place.
Yeah, it's this game is just insanity. I mean, it is completely over the top. The difference between this and Killzone is that I think Bulletstorm. Once I finished it, I was like, okay, Bulletstorm knows it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
It knows it's all about explosions and ripping people apart and bad jokes and over-the-top profanity. And so it kind of a little bit works as a satire of video games. I don't think it really nailed that point, but I think that's what it was going for.
Well, the game is the developers for this are People Can Fly and Epic Games, and Epic created Gears of War, and then People Can Fly did Painkiller. So these are people known for over the top shooters. But I just figured Epic thought okay, we're doing another one of these. I mean, we did this already with Gears of War. You know what? Let's just make this fucking ridiculous. I mean, if we're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. And they did. You actually get rewarded for all the crazy shit that you do. Like, you shoot someone in the ass with an exploding bullet and it says, ass-plosion. You shoot someone in the
Jesus Christ.
Gag reflex.
What's the one where you shoot somebody in the nuts and they grab their nuts and then you shoot them in the head and it's mercy?
Yeah, exactly. Or you kill a bunch of people at once and it says gangbang, and you get points for that.
See, this is what I think of when I think about redneck bars. This shit happens all the time in some fucking small town.
Yeah, I think this needs to happen in real life. I want achievements to pop up in real life whenever I shoot someone in the ass, you know?
Yeah, no, this is Waco, Texas for me. But when you look at this and you start playing the game, it's like, okay, so I've played this all before. And yeah, the humor is there if you accept that this is sort of a satire on like those big manly shooters. But the gameplay itself, I mean, to me, like I said, I didn't play it, but from looking at trailers and whatnot, my biggest complaint right now is that shooters are just pretty standard these days, no matter how great the spectacle is. And I'm looking at this, it looks great. A lot of stuff going on screen at the same time. What I love about a game like this, a lot of giant monsters. I think that's always cool. But when you get right down to the gameplay and you peel all that back, what's it like?
Well, I think it's a lot like a regular shooter, except it really encourages you and rewards you, and in some ways makes it vital for you to continue and to complete the game by taking out guys as creatively as possible. I mean, all of those little achievements that we were talking about, you get points for those that you can redeem for more bullets and better weapons and upgrades to your weapons. And so, yeah, the more asses you blow up, the more bullets you get.
And the most important part is they have the leash mechanic where you can basically whip a guy from the other side of the screen and like yank him right up in your face and then kick him in the nuts onto a cactus and blow him up with a grenade. And you get, 1,000 points for that.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It ends up being a hell of a lot of fun because it's just crazy. It's like you're trapped in this giant, bloody, exploding pinball machine.
It's like Tony Hawk Pro Killer.
Nice. Yeah. Nice. Because to me, blowing up an ass is rewarding itself. The fact that they give you more means a lot to me. Now, when you actually go through and you start playing this and you start getting points, I mean, it seems like that's there to counterbalance some other parts of the game because if I'm correct here, the game is pretty much on one solid path. I mean, it's not free roaming. There's a mission
linear.
here. Yeah, very linear.
Yeah, very linear. Yeah.
Are there action set pieces, or is it just you walking and killing people from room to room?
Oh no,
there are huge set pieces.
Definitely. Like fairly early on in the game, you get basically control of Godzilla for about 20 minutes, and you get to just lay waste to everything in sight with this huge mechanical robot monster thing.
Nice,
yeah.
Nice. So,
and it just relishes how over the top and crazy it is. So you've just got all of this stuff that people could not survive. And I mean, you're controlling giant robots and crashing down on the planet and just all sorts of insane stuff. And all the time you're using this leash mechanism that Jeff mentioned, which is this big energy whip used to throw things around. And you get all these insane weapons like a giant projectile drill bit to where if you hit people with it, it pins them to the wall and they start spinning around. Their blood is spraying everywhere. It's just...
I think my favorite was the handgun. When you shoot somebody with it, they fly up in the air like a firework and then explode, a big explosion.
So this is a Schwarzenegger film. You're playing Total Recall.
This is the last 10 minutes of Commando, the game.
With mutants and aliens. Nice, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's amazing how much humor and self-awareness of how ridiculous your stuff is can actually compensate for a lot of things in the game.
Yeah, and you actually, I don't know about you, Jeff, but by the end of the game, you actually end up getting kind of attached to these characters because these ridiculous, bloodthirsty rednecks actually become fleshed out as people.
It's a little weird. It kind of takes you off guard when you're actually kind of give a shit about the relationships between Trishka and Ishii and all them. And yeah, it's a little strange how it's so ridiculous, but for some reason it kind of becomes endearing after a while.
Yeah, and you've got this great voice acting offset by ridiculous dialogue. I mean, the guy who does the voice for Grayson, the main character, he's a voice acting veteran, but he's done Wolverine in Wolverine in the X-Men recently. So, and he even kind of looks like Wolverine if you look at him.
Jeez, you make it sound like at the end of the game, like instead of shooting the villain, they put their guns down and give him a hug. I mean, you guys.
There's a lot of patting on the back and I'm your friend, Grayson, and I forgive you. There's all these like emotional moments which don't really come out of nowhere, but it's just like, wow, is this really happening? And what's even more surprising is it's actually working.
Yeah.
Jesus, did you and Jeff start tugging each other at the end of this game?
No, I was going to say, though, right directly after that emotional moment, I think that Serrano, the bad guy, calls you a bunch of pussies and then, like, shoves you out an airlock or something. Like, it doesn't really let up with the violence all the way to the end.
It's uber violent, uber crazy. It is the definition. I mean, if you guys have ever played Serious Sam, it's just one of those where it is powered by just stupid testosterone.
Me and my chink friend here are gonna blow the fucking shit out of you. So
yeah,
nice.
No, that's Korey. Did you write for this game? Have you played it?
What are you talking about? That's poetry for me. That's a haiku for me. but
yeah, I mean, this game is just it is a symphony of excess. It's just completely stupid, but it ends up being so much fucking fun.
Now, what kind of modes of gameplay do we have here? Obviously, we have a single-player campaign. We got a co-op. We got a multiplayer. What do we got?
There's kind of, after you finish the single-player game, there's two modes to jump into. One is called Echoes, and it's basically kind of like a time attack mode where you get you put in a level from the single-player game without any dialogue or cutscenes or anything, and you're given your time to see how quickly you can go through it and how many points you can get by creatively killing people. And it's just it's got online leaderboards, and you can try to beat your own score. And if you're really into the gameplay, I can see where that would maybe extend it a little bit. The multiplayer, on the other hand, is kind of interesting because it's not adversarial. It's like a horde mode, like in Gears of War, where you have waves of enemies. But the thing is that it's not about whether you can survive the wave of enemies that comes in. You have a certain point cap that you have to get to. So you'll have four players on a map, and it'll say there's 35 enemies coming out, and you collectively as a team have to reach a score of like 3,500 points in order to progress to the next round. Because it's not, I mean, the one thing from the game, I mean, Jason, you back me up on this, I died a bunch of times, but it's not an especially difficult game. Like, no. I died more often from trying to figure out creative ways to kill people than from actually getting shot to death.
Yeah. I played it on normal mode, and it was actually pretty easy. It didn't take long at all. But yeah, it depends. It's all about, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's all about the style you put into taking all these guys out.
It's all about how you shove a gun up a mutant's ass, not when you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, backwards, forwards, you turn it a a bit from side to side.
Damn, sound like you're going to put a smile on that. Sound like you're going to put a smile on that demon's face if you pick the right one. Hey, back a little bit, forward a little bit. Yeah, I like that.
Korey's all, hey, mutie, I'm going to make this worth your while.
I brought the Vaseline. Listen, this game you've already sold me on. Did anybody play multiplayer on this?
I played it for a little while yesterday. And it's like I said, it's interesting because it ends up as the difficulty level and the individual waves increases, being more and more about making sure that you and your team are doing group kills together to get the maximum number of points. Because the thing is that if you start the level and you just shoot every enemy that comes out, you'll never get past level 1. You have to kick them into giant rotors or, leash them in and shoot them, and then some other guy leashes them back over and kicks them over the bridge or set them on fire and then shove them into an oil can. Or, I mean, you have to come up with interesting ways to kill them in order to get the points to progress to the next round. So it's not really much of a challenge when it comes to staying alive. It's more how creative you can be and how coordinated your team is.
How artistic you can be when blowing somebody's ass up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's all about taking advantage of the environment and throwing people into rotors or giant cacti, or lining guys up and cutting them all in half with a single shot. It's just really gratuitous and silly. It's I think I've said this before, but it's like an itchy and scratchy video game.
Nice, and you know how long we've all been waiting on that.
And the other nice thing is that right about the time it starts to get boring, it's over. About the time you start to lose.
Well, that's the thing. How long is the game?
6-8 hours, something like that.
Standard
first-person shooter.
It's really short.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do characters say any cool one-liners before they do all this crazy stuff?
Where were you? What were you like 15 minutes ago? When they went through all these dialogue.
Like, I'll shoot you in the dick and stuff like that. But like anything that you've been quoting like crazy.
The funniest dialogue is when they're making fun of the dialogue.
Oh
yeah.
No.
I think probably my favorite is when the main character, when Grayson names the giant Godzilla robot and it falls down dead, and he's like, in a kind of a sad voice, he's like, I named him Waggleton P. Tallylicker, and he's just like, oh, I never got to know him.
Yeah, it was, that part was really funny because
that's Nick's middle name, right?
yeah,
Paddington T. Tallywacker.
Controlling the giant robot, and he is just, there's no seriousness to it. It's just he's having an absolute blast. But there's one-liner where you're running along through this garden of man-eating plants with Trishka, the female character, the NPC that you encounter, and she says, all right, we should go this way. Man-eaters love tight places.
Oh, geez.
And there's a pause, and you say, I'm not even going to touch that one.
Jesus Christ. Shit is just childish. Just childish.
It really is.
Damn. Damn. You know, what would y'all give this game? This childish-ass game.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, somebody go.
Wait, same time.
No. You, sir. No. Please. You.
Jinx. No, I would say that it is, I would buy it used. Almost full price. I would say it's almost justified by full price, but the single player is so short and linear that I really can't justify it from that. But
so it's a rental.
At a high used price I think is okay with me.
Okay, so kind of like a rental, buy it used.
I'd say high rental. I mean, just because the multiplayer doesn't have a lot to keep you there. So once you get through the single player, I mean, you know, unless you really, really, really get a kick out of people screaming the word dick over and over again, you're probably not going to play it more than once.
Yeah, that's one of the catchphrases in the game is, what the dick?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. You know what? This shit should have been called Tourette's the game. Because half these guys, what they're doing, these guys got Tourette's. They ain't really using puns. They're just yelling out shit. Cock butter! You know?
Oh, yeah. Especially when you encounter Serrano. He's, yeah. Cock butter. Cunt purse. You name it.
I wanted to see the children of the Bulletstorm universe, like if they talk the same, where they're like, Mom, you dick licker, get in here and get me some fucking milk.
Ma, you fucking dick licker. Hey, you know what? All I know is I got plenty of ammunition next time I get into a fight with a 13-year-old. Because that's what I do, you know. You fucking cunt purse.
Oh, yeah. I am full on! Ah! You want a mutiny? Now's the time. No takers? Then fire! Come on, Rel. Let's make Serrano wish he'd triple that bounty.